Hello everyone, today I'm going to be giving you all 5 tips on how you can escape the ELO hell in Counter-Strike, also known as the silver ranks. These are tips that personally helped me improve inside of the game and climb up from a silver back into gold nova. I'm currently gold nova 2, so these tips help me get out silver and beyond. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video because I've included a little bonus tip for you all. Thank you. So before we get stuck into the video, I'd like to take a little second to remind you all to check if you are subscribed to the channel. If you're not, it helps me out massively if you just go ahead and click that little red button. Most of the people who watch my videos at the moment are not subscribed, so if you just want to double check, make sure the red button is pressed. That helps me out massively. Again, thank you very much. Let's get stuck into the video. So without further ado, a little bit of background about myself and how I play Counter-Strike. So I've around 1400 hours on the game at the moment. I used to be a Master Guardian Elite player, so I was quite high up there in the ranks, a lot higher up than Silver. And then I took quite a long break from the game for an extended period of months. So coming back, I was placed back into Silver, and even though my aim was still really good and I felt like I could hit any shot, it simply wasn't enough to carry me out. So what I had to do there was just focus on the basics, follow these steps, and I was able to climb back out again. So tip number 1 I have for you all is to correctly set up both your crosshair and your sensitivity. These two are massive aspects of the game. Now you wouldn't believe how many people I see in Silver just going around with massive dynamic crosshairs that flick to the edge of the screen every time they shoot, and also crazy colors that both obscure the vision inside of the crosshair, and sometimes you can't even see the crosshair at all. So what I would do there is just double check you have a crosshair set up that's correct. I'd like to have a nice static one. I usually have it neither green or white, both very visible to the human eye, and then from there you can mess around with the gap and the thickness setting to find something that suits you best. Again, the best thing to do there is a little bit of aimbots practice. Just go in there, try and hit some headshots, and if you notice your crosshair is a little bit off or doesn't quite work for you, you can tweak it from the in-game menu. I'll also leave my crosshair settings in the video description if you'd like to see that yourself. So then the other half of this tip, as I mentioned earlier, was sensitivity. So the amount of people that jump straight into this game and just use the default 2.5 sensitivity would surprise you. Me personally, it's way too fast for me. The rule of thumb with this is that a full swipe on your mousepad should equate to about a 180-degree turn in game. And if you have it set up like that, you'll find yourself become more comfortable with it over time. I myself use 800 DPI on a Logitech mouse with 1.14 in-game sensitivity, and it's just something I've found works perfectly for me. So again, your aim's going to feel a little bit strange when you first get into the game after changing your sensitivity. Again, it takes a little bit of time to become natural to it. And another thing as well, just make sure enhanced pointer precision is off in your Windows settings. So my number 2 tip is one that I cannot stress enough for you all, is warm up. Look, I get it, warming up is a lot of effort and sometimes it may feel like it's not 100% necessary. I found that simply warming up for about 20 to 30 minutes just before I start playing the games for the evening means that I'm a lot more consistent in the game and my aim just feels a whole lot more natural. Again, because I was a higher rank before, the likes of Master Guardian, playing in Silver I thought that I didn't actually need to warm up inside of the game. But 100%, your hands are cold and you're just not 100% in the zone if you don't warm up before your game. So again, warming up is the key to ranking up. I cannot stress this enough. So my routine is as follows. I'll play about 10 to 15 minutes worth of aimbots training. I'll show you this in just a little second. All I'm doing in here is going for flick shots, aiming at the head, going for only headshots. Then I'll do a little bit of spray control. And after that, I might do a little bit of flicking as well between targets. Again, there's other things you can do for your next 15 minutes or so, but what I like to do is the Yprac Map from Mirage. In here you can do the likes of smoke training, flash training, you can do the likes of pre-fire angles and defending the site. So it's one of those things where it gives you a little bit of everything, so that's a really good all-round warm-up. Another thing I have started playing recently I really enjoy is the procedurally generated workshop map. That's a mouthful, but yes, the procedurally generated map. Here, the map will sort of generate as you're walking along. The bots will be in random positions using random weapons. Your objective is to kill them all and survive. So again, it just gets you ready for being inside the game in that very intense situation where you don't know where someone is. So again, with warming up, repetition is the key. So you may not see results on the first day exactly, but with more and more time and more play, you'll see massive results over time. I know myself, my aim, my flashes, my smokes, everything's just gets so much more well-rounded just from playing a little bit before I jump into competitive. So now that you're warmed up, your sensitivity and your crosshair are looking fantastic, it's time to jump into tip number 3. Tip number 3 is something that's going to be a little bit difficult for you guys starting out in silver, but it's always be entry fragging. What do you mean by entry fragging, I hear you ask? Entry fragging is being the one who takes control of the team. You go and you peek the angle first of all. So for example, if you're on the likes of long doors on Dust, or you're on, let's say, B apartments on Mirage, you know yourself, your whole team is going to stand behind the doors. They're going to be scared. They're scared of pixels and dying in the game and losing all their weapons and their money. So what you have to do is take control, pull a Leroy Jenkins, sprint through those doors. To rank up, you have to be the one that takes control. Take that responsibility for improving your skill level and improving your rank into your own hands. Sprint onto the side. Your team will follow and it'll impress them. Brings up team morale. And again, if you're not sure where you should be aiming whenever you're going through these spots, think to yourself, if I was on the enemy team, where would I be looking right now? That's all you have to think of. Start placing your crosshair roughly where you think it's going to be. And again, you'll see your entry kills improve, and entry fragging, please believe me, is one of the most important things you can do in silver. So, tip number 4, and yes, I know you've heard it all before, and I know it's cliche, but play with friends. The reality of CSGO is that it's a gamble every single time you get into a game, whether you're going to have teams that are full of gods, or full of people who are playing with Guitar Hero controllers. The best way to eliminate this is to play with some of your friends. So I personally play with 2 friends from IRL. This means that instead of having 4 random teammates playing with me, I have only 2, which greatly improves our odds. And look, I can hear you all saying, none of my IRL friends play CSGO, I don't know what to do, I have to play solo. My recommendation for this, and what I have done quite a few times myself, is to go onto the r/Global Offensive subreddit. There you'll find a link to their official Discord. I'll put that link in the description as well, so if you need to check it out, go down below. If you go onto that Discord, you can find your way to the matchmaking and looking for game channels. On there, you can sort it by region. And all I do is put in my current rank, say that I'm looking for a game, I've got such and such amount of hours, and that I do have a microphone. Usually you will have someone message you pretty quickly, just letting you know that they are looking for a player. Always put in your language as well, guys. The likes of EU regions, you're going to have a lot of different languages there. Put in English and you're going to be paired up with the perfect team for you. Failing that, the last thing you can do for finding friends to play with is if you're in a game, you're playing solo and you meet a really nice teammate, all you have to do is just talk and talk and talk, and if you guys are getting along well, say, hey, do you want to play another? If they play another, they might play with you for the rest of that evening. They could play the next day, the next week, the next month. All of a sudden you've got this friendship that you built up on CSGO, and that's one less random teammate you have because you guys are duo queuing, and that's one of the most important tips to getting out of silver. Finally folks, tip number 5 is just to have fun on the game. Please don't stress yourself out. I know if you're watching this video, you're currently in silver and you're looking to improve on the game. Thank you very much for watching. But also, when I was sort of DMG level, that sort of thing, all I wanted to do was be back in silver again and make those memories that I was making when I was, say, under 100 hours. Everything you're witnessing, all the crazy highlights, the kills, the funny moments in the chat, all the fails that you do because you're still learning. This is all really good memories for the game. The game is a massive learning experience with a super high skill ceiling, so don't bother yourself if you're not quite at the level where you think you should be. Have fun, it takes the stress off and the pressure off, which means that you have more fun and you just play better in game. Letting go of sort of the importance of rank and stuff was a massive part of this for me. Once I stopped caring that I was a silver, again, I managed to climb back out of it. So again, don't have this prejudice about being in silver. You're still learning the game. No one was born a god. Just before we close off this video, folks, I want to give you a very quick bonus tip for sticking around to the end of the video. So my bonus tip here is just go to the video settings inside of your game and have a mess around with all of these. So these are my current settings at the moment. I've quite a good PC, so it runs this game at maybe about 200 to 300 FPS with these settings like this. But I know a lot of the settings like the anti-aliasing and stuff like that could be turned down even further to get more frames. I personally play on 4:3 stretch, that's why my screen looks a little bit wider. I would recommend just trying out the likes of 4:3 stretched, 4:3 black bars, and even 1920x1080, but there is a reason most pro players and things like that are using the 4:3 modes. I personally, for me, it just makes the enemies a little bit bigger, but it does take away a bit of peripheral vision, bear that in mind, so it has its pros and cons. But these are the settings I play in game. Every frame in this game is so important, and if you're still playing with a 60Hz monitor, I would also recommend upgrading to the likes of 144Hz. Just makes the game a lot smoother, and once you go to 144Hz, you'll never understand how you're able to play on 60Hz. So thank you everyone for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm currently working my way up through the gold ranks, so once I get a little bit higher up, I'll let you know how to get out of gold Nova 1 and gold Nova 2. That way you'll make that good first step in getting higher up in the gold. I also play CSGO live on my Twitch channel multiple times a week, so if you head over there, I'll leave the link in the description again. If you hit me with a follow and a little notification button pressed, that means that you'll get notified every single time I go live. On there you can jump in, feel free to ask me some questions, I'm always super happy to help. Other than that, if you're interested in seeing my future CSGO videos and you enjoyed my content today, again please hit the subscribe button, it helps massively in my race to 100 subscribers. We're only 7 off at the moment, so you could be the difference. Thanks very much folks and have a lovely day. Goodbye.